IB Computer Science System Fundamentals. This video is about 1.1.4, compare the implementation of systems using a client's hardware with hosting systems remotely, but it also relates to these two web science topics. When we talk of hosting services remotely, we're referring to the cloud or cloud services. Cloud services use software installed on the server, not the client. The only software the client needs is a browser. Cloud services include cloud storage like Adobe Creative Cloud, Apple iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive, and Microsoft OneDrive. But cloud services are not limited to cloud storage. It is also possible to install and execute other programs at the server. This is called Software as a Service, or SaaS. Examples are Dropbox Paper, Google Docs, and Turnitin. Incidentally, when I refer to Google Docs, I mean the Google suite that includes slides, sheets, drawings, etc. I'm not referring to just the word processor. The options that we have are either to use cloud services such as Google Docs, or to create our own version of cloud services and host it on our own server. When this kind of software is installed on the organization's own server, it's called a private cloud. Correspondingly, Google Docs, Dropbox and the rest are all considered public cloud. That doesn't mean that data stored in them isn't safe or private. Users still have to authenticate to access the data. Public cloud just means that the services are hosted outside of the organization. Let's weigh up the advantages and disadvantages of these two options. We need to consider functionality, cost, data security, and ethical issues. So let's start with functionality. Taking Google Docs as an example, amongst other things, we expect to be able to work from home, share documents, and collaborate. And it would be easy to think that Google Docs or another public cloud service has an advantage here. However, all of these features can be replicated in a private cloud. So maybe we should consider the functionality to be the same. But wait a minute. If you have a private cloud, you could introduce bespoke software specific to the organization, like accountancy software or CAD or whatever. So which option wins on functionality? Well, you decide. This is likely to be a discussion question where there is no definitive answer. As an aside, don't think that all internal software and services are called private cloud. They are not. It's only a private cloud if it emulates a public cloud by being available to members of the organization via the internet, regardless of where they are located. Now let's consider cost. Keeping Google Docs as an example, Google Docs for Business costs about $50 to $60 per employee per year. And so it looks like a good option for a small organization with just a few employees. A small organization would be unlikely to find it viable to install and maintain their own servers and software. A large organization with thousands of employees may be a different story. So cost depends on the size of the organization. Let's move on to data security. Here we consider keeping data safe from malicious activity, system failure, natural disasters, and accidental loss. Security from all of these threats boils down to having up-to-date and well-maintained security systems and policies. Should we choose Google as a public cloud, we can expect state-of-the-art systems maintained by extremely high-caliber professionals. If we choose the private cloud option, we will need expensive hardware and software and also expensive personnel to devise, apply and maintain policies for keeping the data safe. Can we expect our own personnel to be as able as those of Google? I don't know, you decide. Again, this is a discussion question. Also, our public cloud service may not be a household name like Google. What about Kowloon Cloud Services? They're based locally and offer all the same features as Google Docs, but at a fraction of the price. But how good are their security policies? And how would we know? And finally, ethical issues. Our solution is unlikely to be limited to an office suite and will probably include all the fun of Web 2.0, including instant messaging, chat groups, forums, and so on. When humanity breaks down and people make mean posts, the organisation needs to be able to remove the offending material quickly. Should we choose a public cloud, our options will be limited to whatever controls that service offers. Perhaps they can only guarantee removal of the data within 24 hours, or maybe even not at all. With a private cloud, we could have absolute control to the point of turning the service off if necessary. So for ethical issues, the private cloud may have an advantage, particularly in a special environment such as a school. So what have we established? A small organisation will probably prefer to use a public cloud service, but will need to accept that they do not have total control over their data. A large organisation may prefer to establish a private cloud because this will give them absolute control over functionality and data, but this will cost them not only the price of the hardware and software, but also the salaries of specialist employees to support the system.